It's pretty typical if you come to one of my uh, retreats or one of my live intensives, like August 22nd and 23rd in St. Louis, right outside of St. Louis, actually. Um, I have a live intensive coming up called the Choose Your Destiny Live Intensive. And in these live events with me, in the retreat, when we have retreats, it's usually for our Inner Wealth Mastermind. And in these intensives and in these retreats, it's often that I do some energy work with people. And I do some deep shadow work. I do some deep emotional work with them. And what I mean by that is I invite them into a space of facing their shadows and facing the things that they've always looked to avoid. Now, why the hell would I do that? Your body is conditioned by the past. And if there was a painful event in the past, if there was, let's say, you were abandoned as a kid, okay? You're like maybe one of your parents abandoned you, and that emotional event had a huge impact, whether you acknowledge it or you want to face it or not, that event had a huge impact in your life. If your family went bankrupt, or if your family lost everything, or if, maybe a parent died, or just something, maybe there was, physical abuse. These events had a huge impact on the energetic patterns in your body. And emotion is energy in motion. So when I'm talking about the energy in your body, I'm also talking about the emotions in your body. And the emotions in your body really are pointing back to the conditioning of your nervous system. When someone is, and I'm speaking from experience, when someone is a massive people pleaser, there's a reason that they are a people pleaser. Their body, their nervous system is conditioned to seek survival through approval. There was some event, there was some experience, there was some history, there was something that happened that were some things, maybe it was a series of things. There were things that happened that caused their nervous system to need to be different and seek approval and seek validation and seek acceptance to feel and experience being safe. So your nervous system literally rewired itself around seeking safety through approval. When, let's say, someone, my wife, I'm going to talk about my wife. She was just on this podcast episode last week, and we talked about what we were going to talk about this week. And she faced massive poverty when she was a kid. Her parents, her father and stepmother, and because her mom died when she was really young, so she had abandonment issues too. But they had nothing, and her parents were like addicts. Father and stepmother were addicts, and they would lose everything. They'd go to a house, they'd sleep on people's couches, they'd go from one vacant home to another. He'd get a job, he'd buy a television, and then before you know it, the television was headed out because they needed some drug money. And it was like, that's the environment that she grew up in. And her nervous system was wired to make money really important in her life so that she had what she needed to survive. Because her parents, sometimes made them go to the grocery store or go to the freaking gas station and steal food and steal toilet paper. So her nervous system went into hyperactivity and into chaos to try to make sure she had the resources she needed to be okay. And even, I'll speak from experience, even when we have plenty in Oregon, when we lived in Oregon, we had plenty. There was no chance we were ever going to have nothing, but she still had a big bag of comforters in the garage in case our electric and our heat got turned off. That was because her nervous system was wired to seek survival through resources and accumulation and making sure she was holding on to everything. Our nervous system determines our quality of life. And our nervous system really acts as lane bumpers of what's acceptable and what's not. And when our nervous system trips into survival mode, it literally is looking to get your attention to do something different and be something different so you can return back to a place of safety. And let's say you are a zero error and you have nothing, right? And now you have a net worth of $1 million, or let's just say you have $1 million. And your nervous system is still wired at zero. $1 million will feel like you don't have enough. And $1 million, if you fall below $1 million, it'll make you feel like you're about to lose it all, because your nervous system is literally wired for survival and to avoid poverty. So no matter how much money you have, you're not going to be able to feel something from that, because your body is literally wired to experience life and to feel what you feel now. Now, why is this all important? Because again, at my intensives and at my retreats, and I even have, like, if you go to my website, innerwealthglobal.com, I have a meditation bundle that has meditations in there to do shadow work and to work through these emotional exercises and to get into the shadows, to get into the deepest, darkest aspects of yourself so that you can start to rewire and realign your central nervous system so that you can get out of premature survival mode when you have plenty, so that you don't need to seek approval and validation to feel safe, so that you don't need to compromise who you are so that you can be okay in the world, so that you're not fighting for survival every minute of every day. And even though you have everything you need and you're safe, so that your central nervous system doesn't give you signals and send off flares of survival mode, even when danger is nowhere necessary or nowhere present in your life. And if you've ever known somebody with a lot of money that has a central nervous system wired for poverty, they still probably wake up in cold sweats in the middle of the night because their central nervous system is in fight or flight, and they've done nothing to get out of fight or flight internally. They've just made money, which never solves internal conflicts in your central nervous system. I hope this is making sense. So at our Inner Wealth Mastermind retreats and at the Choose Your Destiny live intensives, I'll often get people into, and my students, I'll get them into a deep state of relaxation in their body and their mind. And then I'll invite them into a deeper level of what they're most afraid of in this lifetime. And it could be financial, it could be relational, it could be losing a loved one, it could be having their business collapse, it could be being alone. These are all real fears that people face. And in some cases, these things that I just mentioned, they are people's deepest fear. Not everybody, obviously, but they are people's deepest fear, and they're wired to avoid those things, which is complete survival mode. Because if you keep trying to avoid it, it means you're just really inviting it into your life. And as soon as you're not emotionally available to it, as soon as you're not scared of it, it won't be an option in your life anymore. You become emotionally unavailable to it. So in my meditations with people, I take them into the thing that they're most afraid of, the thing that they're scared of the most: being alone, poverty, business collapse, just being rejected, losing a loved one. Get into that place. Dying, the fear of dying is prevalent in people. And I get them into the circumstance of that thing, and I have them mentally see it in their mind and physically feel it in their body. And we start the process of excavating the pain and of releasing the pain and of facing and amplifying the pain. We stop running from the pain and we face it. And what happens when we amplify the pain and we face it, we get the opportunity to release it. And when we release it, our nervous system rewires itself and realigns to the new state without that level of emotion, the intensity of the avoidance of a circumstance. And I hope this is making sense. This is called shadow work. It's not a new concept. There's the Sedona method, which is a book by Hale Dwoskin. There's The Dark Side of the Light Chasers by Debbie Ford. There's Letting Go by Dr. David Hawkins. These books all talk about releasing emotion and releasing energy from your body. The Untethered Soul by Michael Singer. These books all talk about releasing emotions from your body so that you can stop trying to avoid the circumstance, and your nervous system can just rewire itself so that you feel a deeper sense of peace and freedom and fulfillment and relaxation in the circumstances that you have, knowing that you're safe regardless of your circumstances. But until we face that pain, until we face that internal struggle, until we face that damage, we're going to have to live as if it's imminent, and we're going to live a life of avoidance, survival instead of creation. For anybody watching this video, I'm holding up a copy of my new book, Inner World, Outer World, which will be released on August 19th, 2025. And in Inner World, Outer World, there's two specific chapters that address this. One is samskaras and letting go. And there's another chapter about shadow work. And this isn't like, there was a long time people called me a mindset coach. I am not a mindset guru. I am not a mindset guy. Mindset is important. Don't get me wrong. Mindset is impactful. Don't get me wrong. Don't lose sight of that. The way your mind sees things shapes your reality. But this is deeper than mindset. This is body work. This is somatic work. And the Greek word for body is soma. And that's why it's called somatic work. It's getting into your body and getting your body out of survival mode by releasing the stored up toxic energy that's in there, releasing it so that your body can rewire itself around safety instead of survival. So that you can let go of the pain and the damage and the suffering and the energy and the emotion that's been trapped, that's got you caught up in cycles of approval, cycles of seeking admiration, cycles of seeking more financial security, cycles of seeking things that you don't need to feel safe, because the feeling of freedom, the feeling of safety, the feeling of having enough, it's in your body, not your bank account. It's in your body, not your relationships. The feeling of approval is in your body, not in your relationship, not in your interactions. The feeling of self-worth is in your body, not your accomplishments. Your self-esteem is in your body, not in your circumstances. And this is why somebody will set a goal, chase the goal, get there, then set a new one because they thought they were going to get a feeling. They thought they were going to get an emotional payoff from arriving at that goal when their body feels the same, but they're thinking that if they just achieve enough, accomplish enough, accumulate enough, be approved of enough, be seen enough, that they'll feel something that they haven't felt up to this point. Now, all of this work that I've done, and all of this work that I get to do with people, I've done it without a process. I've never been able to teach a process. I lead the meditation and I lead them into their body, but I've never really been able to define the process up until now. Recently, a couple weeks ago, as I was sitting trying to figure out how the fuck do I teach this stuff? Not just lead people through work, but how do I teach this stuff? How do I give people a process? Because I sit on my back patio and I'm constantly doing shadow work. I get into my body. I feel what's in there. I understand what it's like, why it's there, and the effect and the impact that it's had on my life. And I sit with it a while and I amplify it and I let the shit go. And I'm like, I understand this process, but how do I teach it? Well, in this episode, now we're 15 minutes in, but in this episode, I hope that set the story for why this is important. But in this episode, I'm going to teach you what I call the drill method. And I just trademarked this because it's really impactful in the results that I'm getting from teaching it in my mastermind and teaching it in my community and teaching it to my private clients. My community, my people, my followers are getting massive benefits from this. And it's called the drill method. The first step in the drill method is to drop out of the mind into the body. This isn't mindset work. This is body work. Your body is not going to, you're not going to exhume all of this raw toxic emotion by just using the mind. You got to drop from the mind into the body. The D stands for get out of your mind into your body. Your awareness can only be three places in any case at any time. It can either be on your circumstances, in your mind, or in your body. And we're saying get your mind out of your circumstances, get your mind out of your mind, or get your awareness. I apologize. Get your awareness out of your circumstances, get your awareness out of your mind, and get your awareness into your body. Drop from your mind into your body. That's the D. The R is recognize what's happening in your body. What are you scared of? What are you afraid of? What are you most fearful of? What are you most trying to avoid? What feeling are you most trying to avoid? What feeling are you feeling? Recognize it. Amplify it. Feel it. That feeling that you've always been avoiding, feel it. The guilt, the shame, the anger, the jealousy, the envy, the rage, the scarcity, the poverty that you feel, the worthlessness that you feel, the things that you'd rather not feel. This is ugly, nasty work, but this is the shit that'll set you free. All that stuff that most people are trying to avoid, feel it, exhume it. Get it out of your body. Get it out of the recesses of your body. It's stored in your body. And I share constantly that, and right now on video, I'm holding up in my left arm, my left hand. I'm pretend that I'm holding up an orange, and in my right hand, I've got a knife. You poke the knife into the orange, you wiggle around the knife, and you pull the knife out of the orange. What happens to the orange juice? It starts running out of the orange, but the knife did not create the orange juice. The knife just revealed it. That's the same thing when you get your awareness into your body and you start exhuming all this emotion. That awareness didn't create the emotion. The emotion's there. You're just releasing it. You're just becoming aware of it. You're just allowing it to come out of you. You're not creating it through this awareness. You've been running from it your whole life, but you're not creating it by getting into it. You're exhuming it. The D stands for drop into your body. The R is to recognize what's in there and amplify what's in there. The I stands for inquire. How did you get here? What are you trying to tell me? What impact has all of this emotion had on my life? And sounds weird, sounds woo-woo, but it's developing a relationship with that emotion, with that stored up toxic energy, that toxic emotion that's in your body. Recognize it. Inquire. Relate with it. Understand it. What is it telling you? And the first L is listen to what it's trying to tell you. It will communicate. It'll flash a face in your head. It'll flash an event in your head. It'll flash an experience. It'll speak to you. It'll literally tell you why it's there, how it got there. Just trust that whatever message it's giving you is perfect. And it's telling you, it's your subconscious mind telling you exactly why it's there, what its meaning is, and what it's protecting you from, what it's trying to protect you from. The first L is to listen to it. Let it speak to you. And the last L is to let it go. And this is the part that some people are trying to hold on to their past. Some people are trying to hold on to the pain of the past. Some people are unwilling to face this emotion and unearth this emotion. They'd rather repress it. They'd rather escape it. They'd rather suppress it They'd rather eat it away or work it away or make money so that they don't have to feel it. They'd rather build up a wall of armor. But now that we're feeling it, let's let it go. And when you let it go, and you will, when you let it go, it no longer resides in your body. And it's just like the orange in the orange juice. When the juice flows out, it's no longer in the orange. And it's just like emotion. When you let the emotion go, it no longer resides in your body. You are lighter. You are less emotionally charged. You are more emotionally released. There's less that's going to trigger you. The intensity of your triggers will be less. And your central nervous system will rewire itself and it'll relax because you've released some of this toxic energy that it used to protect and it used to defend and it used to try to build a life to try to avoid feeling. You just released it. So it no longer has to live at a survival mode to try to protect and avoid that emotion from being surfaced. And over time, as you do the drill method, and over time as you do shadow work, over time as you get into your body, you do this somatic work, you do this deep work, your body will become more peaceful, more free, lighter, and you will literally not need circumstances to change so you'll be okay. And then instead of needing to control circumstances, you'll live in a more powerful place where you can influence those circumstances in a way that's creative instead of built on survival. Guys, the drill method is powerful, impactful. It's important. This is the work that has liberated my soul. This goes beyond mindset work. Most of the struggles that you have, the fear that you have, most of the anxiety that you have, the depression that you have, it's because of the somatic condition of the emotions that are buried inside of your body, and your nervous system has rewired itself or wired itself around these things. Now we're letting the shit go. I've just started introducing and just started teaching about the drill method. Last week on our podcast, we talked about how my girls, my young girls, my daughters are holding on to the pain of the past. But the drill method offers us a way to let go of the past, to let go of the identity and the identification that we have with the past, letting the old version of us die so that the new version can be reborn in a whole, complete, inspired way instead of someone who's feels broken or trying to avoid pain or feels incomplete or inadequate. All these things are things that are contained within your central nervous system from raw toxic emotion of the past. And the drill method offers a way to let them go. Guys, if you'd like to do any of this work with me, I've got the Choose Your Destiny Live Intensive coming up right outside of St. Louis, Missouri, August 22nd and 23rd. My new book, Inner World, Outer World, will be released on August 19th. It's just a couple days before the workshop. And I'm going to be teaching the drill method a whole lot more over the coming months. It's going to become the foundation of everything that Inner Wealth Global is built on. And if you're interested in getting into the shadow work and having me guide you through some of the shadow work, the meditation bundle is available on my website, innerwealthglobal.com. There's about 8 meditations on there. They often, most of them, get you into your shadow so you can start releasing this fucking energy, this toxic emotion, energy in motion, this toxicity in your body that's got you in survival mode and kept you in fear, fight or flight, survival, anxiety, panic. If you're dealing with any of that, the need for approval, the constant need for more, even though you have enough. If this sounds like you and you want to get a start, my meditation bundle on innerwealthglobal.com will help. And then look for my upcoming release, Inner World, Outer World. And if you really want to come and do some work with me, the Choose Your Destiny Live Intensive, August 22nd, 23rd, I'd love to lead you in person through this stuff. They're powerful events. And I know that together, shoulder to shoulder, we can make your life more free, more fulfilling, more purposeful, and rewarding. But we've got to let go of the past. and the drill method can help.